Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back for another episode of the Green Room. I am Marc G, as usual, and it's gonna be usual. I got with me LeRon, I got Nichole. We're gonna get right into it, man. We ain't gonna waste no time with y'all. Shout out to my bro, though. I do have his shirt on. I took my sweatshirt off. Legacy U. Y'all should support them if you are in the Columbus area, doing a lot of great things with the kids. From homework to, actually with the online learning, they're facilitating a place for them to actually sit on computers. They get lunch, all of that stuff. So make sure y'all check them out, man. Legacy U, super dope. But yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it. The biggest thing I would say is the presidential or the vice presidential debate that happened earlier this week. Did everybody watch it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody watched it. So, and this is the only one that they're doing, right? They're only doing one debate. They won't do any more. It was Kamala versus Mike Pence. So tell me what y'all thought, man.
Or was it versus the fly?
Oh, listen. The fly for real stole the whole debate. It stole the whole debate. Like, I couldn't believe that a fly sat on the man's head for that long. He didn't flick it. He didn't feel it.
None of that. And I thought I was like going crazy. I was sitting on the TV like, it's something.
I thought it was my TV.
I did too.
I was high. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know, but I didn't think it was a fly. I didn't think it was a fly though, because flies move.
Right. It's just
he was moving his head and everything. The bug would just sit on his head.
And the fact that we're talking about the fly,
that's
before the debate, is the problem.
It's the problem.
But it's also like I had tears in my eyes, like, because I couldn't believe
crazy.
I couldn't believe like that it happened.
How pussy you gotta be for a fly not to be scared of you? Like to post up on you and not move.
Like, shit, I ain't tripping.
Right, she ain't gonna do shit.
But what did y'all think though overall about the debate itself? Like my thought personally is that she murdered him. I don't think it was close. I don't think that it was even like a conversation. But what did y'all think? Anybody can start.
Marcus?
Yes.
I'm speaking.
Go.
I'm speaking, Marcus. You remember, she just literally
man.
She like literally killed him, like with her professionalism. Of course, we know she's, I knew she was going to do it because exactly just what she is or was at the time as far as being a prosecutor. So I knew she was going to be comfortable in that seat, and I knew she was going to, get up there and keep her, her, like we was talking about how the 45th can't do.
Right.
Just she give the black woman mama looks,
Yo.
all that, the looks to the side, like
the I'm speaking. It got to me. I was like, damn, that sounds like my mama.
I'm speaking. I'm speaking. President, Vice President, I'm speaking. I was like, in the looks, I was proud. I know a lot of people do not approve of her and of the things that she's done, but on the other hand, you have to remember I am a woman.
Yes.
And a woman of color.
Yes.
So I sat there in my seat and I was daggone proud. I was like, you go and get him, girl. You get him. I don't care if people are going to vote for her or not. I was very happy of how she conducted herself, handled herself, and well-spoken, and just, and her stance on her views of what she spoke about.
Yeah, I
can't wait to hear it. Like, hey, come on.
I had her like mopping the floor with him. That's what I know. That happened.
Right.
Like Pence.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that from her. Like,
what you mean?
Like, okay, so I guess it's from two different, a moderator and the actual debaters,
right?
Two different roles. However, like after watching the first time with Trump and Biden,
yeah,
and seeing how the moderator couldn't control that at all,
right?
I didn't even expect no, I'm waiting. Or I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm talking. I was expecting some like assertiveness because he still
was talking over her.
It felt like it was uneven, but at the end of the debate, she said the time was off by like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that way.
Yeah.
It seemed like he talked over her and cut her off, and even the moderator, he showed no respect to her. Like, so I was expecting Kamala to be like neck rolling and not neck rolling. I thought she was going to be like assertive,
but
telling him to like relax.
But she don't have the ability to
I
do
understand
so.
that.
You know what I
and
mean?
then there's that. I know black women, angry black women. I understand that whole narrative, but I was expecting her to be like, man, fuck that. Like, this is what's gonna happen.
But she did come out at one point that she made. She's like, he took his time.
Let me get mine.
Let me get mine.
Because the moderator wasn't treating her like she was treating Pence.
Absolutely.
So did y'all feel like any issues were tackled? Like when I think back, I'm trying to remember specific.
I don't be remembering none of that. Like I don't watch
it's all
the past 4 years up to now. I did not watch for value. Like
It's
I did
just
with
all-
Barack and him. I watched for value because I knew Barack. He's not that character.
Right.
I knew with all of these debates, it was gonna be a shit show. So I'm not looking for value. I don't even remember nothing that even Biden and other than the supremacy thing.
But from the first debate with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't remember too much from that either.
with Harris and Pence, I do think like if you take it topic by topic or issue by issue, Corona, he didn't stand a chance in that. No. Like when she put the facts out.
That's the thing though. He can't defend any of it.
But he tried.
He could try.
He tried.
Niggas get caught doing bullshit all the time
and
knowing that they did some bullshit and they're gonna try to still get out of it.
His only defense though is changing the subject. Like every time she asked a question.
She did it too a couple times.
Well, because after he started doing it, I think she was just like, fuck it, like it's a free for all right now. Like, so if he not answering no questions directly, then I'm not gonna answer no questions, you know.
There was nothing short of Kamala saying, I hate crackers on national TV that would have had her lose that debate. There's nothing that she could have did to lose that debate.
But don't y'all think it's weird though, like that, okay, 200,000 people have died, right? That's a fact. His response to it was late. That's a fact. Like all of these things are facts, but somehow Pence was able to sit up there with this just level of.
No, but they said that I don't know nothing about his ass at all.
Yeah.
But the people who like Mayor Buttigieg, he said that he has an innate ability to look you in the eye and lie comfortably.
That is
not even blink.
That's Go ahead. No.
My mind was skipping. That's
part of the reason why he was selected. It wasn't really based off of track record or accolades or anything like that. They needed somebody straight laced to offset dude's madness, and Pence does have a very like innate ability to just sit there because they asked him like, all right, y'all want to get rid of Obamacare, y'all want to get rid of the Affordable Health Care Act. What do y'all have in its place? This dude literally did not answer that question. He went straight to, so Democrats want to pack the courts. Tell us about it. And he's demanding an answer from her after not answering the initial question. So the fact that they can do that is, number one, is scary. Like that's like sociopath tendencies to me, where somebody can look at you and just straight face lie. No?
I think you could be just a regular nigga and do that.
But I think you're limited if you're just a liar, a regular liar has its limits.
George liar.
Yeah. It's just I have my limits. But people that could just be like punch you in the face and be like, I didn't punch you, and look at you and be like, I don't know, I have no idea what you're talking about. Those people scare me a little bit because I think they can. Anybody who can look at you or look at a camera and all of that and just lie, I'm fearful of. So when people talking about, I wish Trump would die or this, I don't want Pence to be the president at all. I don't want him to even sniff the office. He's super conservative, like even more like Trump. I don't even think he has a platform one way or the other as far as what he believes in. But Pence is like anti-abortion, anti-gay,
He trying to undo Indiana's, not really just Indiana's, but it started there. But he's trying to undo marriage for same-sex marriage. So I'm having a hard time understanding why though. it's not going to. What is that going to change? Like, where are all these gay people that are
married?
That
they just gone.
Oh, we got to break up. No. We got to go our separate ways now. Like,
they
what
really
going to get from this?
They do that to appeal to this base that they think they have. But the biggest thing is that these people are never in fear that they're gonna lose their seats. That's why they do the things that they do, say the things that they say. I hope so.
They got an answer for all of this.
I hope so.
Once the environment and temperature changes back to normal,
right,
and those standards that are so low raise up higher,
then they
have to go back to being countrymen and not party men or Trump men.
Yeah, because that's all they living and dying by that right now.
Right. So once everything goes back to normal, and there's like, even if there's a Republican normal in the White House as far as like a president, I just don't understand. Like,
did you see Lindsey Graham?
Like him, like what the fuck?
Did you see that?
Like, how do you have such a strong stance before he becomes president, and now y'all buddy, he's the right person for the job?
So Lindsey Graham is the senator in South Carolina, and he came out and basically was like, "Yo, South Carolina's not a racist state. You know, if you're an immigrant, if you're a person of color, you're welcome here. Blah blah blah." And then at the very end, he was like, "We welcome all of you. You just have to be conservative." He was like, liberal. If you're liberal, then this is not the state for you. But if you're conservative, and he said it with a straight face, and it's like, these people fail to realize that as a politician, like, yes, we may disagree party-wise and all of that, but you're supposed to be all-inclusive of all people. And they don't even hide it anymore to pretend that they are. It's just kind of like, either you with this program or we're going to get you out of here. So,
Black dude's going to get him out of there, though.
Oh, yeah. He's
Jamie Harrison.
Yeah.
He's going to get him out.
He's campaigning right now. His seat is up in November with the presidency, and he's feeling the pressure a little bit. So shout out to him. I hope he do win down there in South Carolina.
Yeah. They're going to have to answer for all this shit, though. At the end of the day, they're going to have to answer for this, and they're going to pay with it by their seats.
Yeah.
Those seats are getting
We hope. Yeah. Trump, and so I was transitioning, and we want to talk about mental health awareness. Mental Health Awareness Day was yesterday. I figure a good transition is Trump, because that motherfucker is nuts. Like, his whole parade lap after beating COVID and said he feel better than he's felt in 20 years.
So he's officially beat it.
No. Allegedly.
So,
because we haven't seen.
Did you hear the phone conversation with him coughing? And he was like,
yep.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I got a little cough. Like, nigga, no, you got COVID. What the fuck you mean you got a little cough?
They won't show like test results. They want his doctors. Like, he didn't have his doctor come out. His doctor is scary. He looks crazy. And it's just like this big, like him getting out the hospital, putting his suit on and standing up there to get in the car, and it looked like he ain't ready to cough. Like, it's theatrics. Like, all of this at this point is just it's nonsense. But he needs to get his mental health checked, and I think that they may find something. But we did acknowledge Mental Health Awareness Day yesterday, and that was something that we wanted to talk about. And I didn't really have anything specific about it, but I wanted to ask y'all personally: have either of you ever dealt with personal issues of mental health, family members, dealing with mental health, and what is that like for you, and what have you learned from it?
I'll go first. I've spoken about this on my Nancy Nicole page. I cover it pretty much. I basically came out and told everyone that I do suffer from mental health issues, and my mental health issues are I depression, anxiety, and panic attacks.
Okay.
And I spoke about this last April. I did a whole full 8 minutes on mental health in the minorities. And in that, I spoke a little bit about how I feel like we, in the Black community, feel like it's pushed under the rug, and something we have to be ashamed of, and it's something that we can't speak about it. Because if we do speak about it, we're deemed like crazy, and something's really wrong with this person, and so on and so forth. But I want us to stop looking at it as like mental health issues or something. I want us to look at it as mental wellness. So if you start looking at it in a perspective of your, being well or getting better, then you won't look at it in a negative connotation. So you have to realize your mind runs your whole body. And if that's not right, that's going to mess with your whole physical. You know, it causes stress, it causes heart attacks, it causes death. Like, so we have to understand, like, you have to be just as, it's just as important to get your mind and your mental together as it is if you were having like heart issues, diabetes, or your physical is just as severe. So yes, I did say, like, I do myself, and there's other people, you know.
Was there something for you that triggered it where you said, I'm not sure what's going on with me and I need to find out? Like, was there a episode or a moment where you was like, I need to figure out what I'm dealing with? Okay. So
I started this experiencing like shakes and certain issues or certain things that would happen, whereas I would get real nervous, or I can't even control what's going on with me. Sweats. As far as depression is concerned, I've been dealing with a lot since a child, and it's really deeply rooted. And that's little things that I'm still trying to get to this day. And I tell people that the main thing about that is, as far as my depression and stuff is concerned, it's important to talk to someone. Whether if you feel like it's a pastor, whether you feel it's a professional, I feel like you really need to talk to a professional. I can sit down, if I'm really in the need to talk, I can talk to someone, but I don't need someone's bad opinions, and I don't need bad judgment. I need someone to listen. And also the key, that if I'm telling you something, that you've been trained to deal with my issues. Because everybody hasn't been trained to deal with your issues. Right. So whether it be a pastor, whether it be a counselor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, if you know someone close to you, a family member that won't be judgmental or won't, say you got to do this and do that, then talk to that person if you have to talk right then and there. But make sure it's someone you trust, because I just can't divulge a lot. To anyone. And it takes a lot for me to sit here and tell you something in the first place. So
what about you, bro?
My brother, he's clinically schizophrenic. And so that's a whole different type of monster I have to deal with. But me, I have anxiety. I have really bad anxiety. And I didn't even know I had it until I got married.
Here we go with the marriage.
That's when I knew I had it. No. Because this is why. Coming up from me up to that point of being married, I'm around certain people, certain friends, certain social groups who all probably have anxiety but don't know it, because we all medicated the same way and not even know it. So the way my mind worked before marriage, it was sex or it was alcohol. I didn't smoke, so it was alcohol or sex. Okay. So once I felt myself getting anxious, I had at that time, I would call somebody or go to the bar or go out to the club or go and do it like so much whenever I get anxious. So I was in there all the time. When I got married, that lifestyle stopped.
You didn't have
so I didn't have the ability to close them nerves down. So what ended up also happening is, instead of me going to the bar, instead of me I'm shaking, my back of my neck is hot, my nerves are all over the place. My heart is beating, pounding through my chest, because I can't go do the things that I was doing before. Right. So that's what I mean by marriage. It showed me I had anxiety, because it took away your outlets that you previously had. Right. And so now when I'm inside, even now, even with marriage, it's like the anxieties that I have about anything. She doesn't know she don't have a history or people in her family that has mental health issues. So when I have anxiety attack, my mind, it can be something so small, and my mind tells me it's the biggest, common. It's asteroid size. Which why now I have to tell her when I feel some type of way, give me a couple of days or something to try to, however long I need to compartmentalize it, to break it down to the root, so I can see do I need to go off in this motherfucker, or am I overreacting?
Am I doing too much?
Yeah, so that's what I mean by when I say marriage actually showed me my anxiety, and I got a therapist. I do go see a therapist.
Good.
That's dope.
So
Good.
I do those things. However, like it's a struggle because it's not something you can get rid of.
Right.
You can medicate or manage it.
Yeah.
That's a better word. Manage
it.
But there's nothing you can do to get rid of it because that's like she said, like lifetime is trauma. It's lifetime from a child, and it builds in you, and it becomes an actual part of you. So I can't act. So when it's so big in me, if I close out those parts of me where it brings up, it also closes down some of the better parts of me too. So it's one of them things where, like you said, managing it is way more beneficial. Like you can only manage it. You're not going to get rid of your mental health issue if you have a mental wellness. You're not going to get rid of it. It's not going anywhere. But you can manage it. And you can't, every time you pick up signs, signs in your body, like you know when it's coming. You can calm it. You can kind of train yourself to calm them down. So, yeah, it's mental health is the number one thing that you have to take care of your mental health before your body.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I've always been the type to hold. Right, I hold things in. I bottle stuff up. Within my family, whether it's my immediate family with my wife and my son, or my parents, my sister, I'm the one that just kind of braces, takes the impact, deals with it, and keeps pushing. And what I realized is that people start to expect that from you, and when they expect that from you, they don't think that you deal with things, right? They think that you just got it and you good. Like this has been a rough, like full disclosure, this has been a rough couple months for me. These last couple weeks have been rough for me. When you're dealing with family members that are dealing with, issues. And like my sister, we're really close. My sister's 4 years older than me. We are like this. It's just us two. We're not, the only two siblings, and we're really tight. And she's struggling, health wise. And so that has played a part in my everyday, because now that's something new that I'm waking up and I'm thinking about, and it's on my mind heavy, when I got to go to work, when I got to do this. So it's been a rough time. And I used to be like, man, because I can't front, like the way we grew up, it was just like, niggas was crazy, right? You didn't know nothing about treatment. You didn't know nothing. It was just like, oh, either you crazy or you're not crazy. So if I ain't crazy, then I need to figure out how to deal with whatever I'm dealing with. But the older that I get, I'm realizing that I can't function without some type of outlet or some type. So I've actually flirted with the idea of therapy. I think it probably would be a good thing for me just to try to work out. Like you said, childhood, like both of y'all just said childhood, there's things that you lock away. There's things that you don't even, until you hit it and you're like, ooh. And that may have shaped something in you that has you the way you are today based off of something 20 years ago, 30 years, whatever. So for me, that's what I'm working within right now. Like Tuesday. It was Tuesday. So I woke up and I was telling y'all before we started the show about how at work, I had a lot of stuff going on and trying to get this thing together. And it was like, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, I got to get up. I got to do this. But then I also got to make sure, let me check on my sister. Let me do it. So I woke up that morning and I told my wife, I was just like, I need a second. I was like, I just need a second. And I woke her up. Like, yo, I'm not feeling right. And she was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm jittery. I can't sleep. I can't. So she's like, all right, tell me what's going on. So we just started talking and talking through it. And I'm just telling her, this is what's wrong. That's what's wrong, whatever. And she gave me this link on YouTube to like meditation.
That's what I was about to say.
So it was like this 10-minute meditation. Bro, I've never even tried until this week. So we in the room, she leaves me in the room, she closed the door and she like, just listen to this and then let me know when you're done. And it was difficult at first because like the thing with meditation is you have to let yourself go.
Right.
Like completely. And that's hard to do when it's a million things running through your mind. So I'm sitting there and like the dude's voice and he's saying everything that I'm feeling like, you're wrestling with something that's out of your control. You're dealing with something that you can't fix or you can't. So now you have to figure out how to deal with it. Right. And I went through this whole meditation thing and I got done and I did actually feel better, like in that moment. Now, I don't know if I could do it consistently. I don't know, because even as he was talking in my ear, I was still thinking about, So I had to keep centering myself and coming back. But I'm saying all of that to say, like, that, you know how that it's that quote, check on your strong friends.
Yes. It's very important.
It's real.
It's very real.
There's a lot of people that you take for granted and just think that they got it. Or in a family setting or friends, it's these people that you got that one friend that always got something going on. So you just be like, man, that's just what they do. Like, but then you got the one friend that's the helper and they help everybody. You need to check on the helper that helps everybody, because chances are they might be bottling something up. So I think, and I might talk to you, man, like you said, as far as therapy and stuff goes, because I'm really thinking about talking.
Help me.
It's definitely because when you talk about as far as managing mental health, as I say, like wellness, there are options. And your options are, like we said, therapy, talking, and counseling. The other option is medication. That's the route. When my last appointment I went to when I was in Atlanta, still living there, I went to the doctor and she was like, sweetie, I need to give you this prescription. Yeah. Because you are like going through it. I said, sweetie, and I'm in tears, I said, sweetie, I'm sorry.
You didn't want it.
I didn't want to medicate. But whoever would like to medicate. I'm not saying it's not wrong, but medicating was not for me.
So why do you feel like it wasn't for what?
I didn't want to put that I didn't want to put those type of chemicals in my body. I wasn't ready to like play with a prescription or a medication with my mind is already doing 50 million one things. Right. So I'm not saying it's not wrong to try it, but I just was already just like, I don't want to take the 50-50 chance, like, well, what if it's going to make me worse? Yeah. I didn't want to take that chance.
Well, there's definitely a conversation to be had, and we can talk about this at another time, but there is for sure an agenda when it comes to prescription meds.
Yes, it is.
And being prescribed for whether it's mental health, issues or whatever the case may be. There is a lot to be said because there's a lot of profitability in dishing out pills.
That's why they won't legalize, or not legalize, but make weed recreational in
everywhere
in the country, because they know once that happens,
a lot of money.
Medication, people are not going to need the actual pill.
These pharmaceutical companies make billions
off of anxiety.
They make billions.
I smoke weed, and I have this app on my phone. It's called Leafly. That I just whatever strain I buy or whatever strain I have, I type it in Leafly, and then I'll read like what it actually does. Some of them are designed. Some of the strains are designed for anxiety and depression. It's designed for that.
Right.
And I have like so many different strains that the ones I do have. That's like I have a lot of anxiety and depression strains, and those help me tremendously. Like
you would need a pill.
I don't need no pill, and it also helps with your mind. Helps you clear your mind out where I can actually think.
So it does work for you?
So for me, it absolutely 100% works for me. Because even in those moments when I can't talk about something because I don't know what I want to say, or if what I'm saying is actually like how I'm actually feeling, I'll smoke, sit there, think that my feelings act the way I actually feel. Then once I'm not high no more, it's like, okay, I can talk about this, or that shit wouldn't even work for you.
You can figure it out. Right. What do y'all feel about, so there's always the connection between mental health and like incarceration and people, violence, people getting locked up. And because that's a big part of now that everybody's talking about defund the police, and we need more social movements in these communities as opposed to police presence, right? So when you talk about a cop responding to somebody, like the dude, I want to say it was New York, I can't remember now, but he ended up being like butt ass naked in the street, and they had to restrain him, and they ended up killing him. But they said that in the first place, there should have been some type of medical professional to respond to that as opposed to instead of a cop.
That's what I was going to say.
We need to get back to a place where that's happening. I think we need to get back to a place. Well, so in the 60s, 70s, and then going into the 80s, once Reagan became president, he had the ability to deregulate, kind of what Trump's doing now, where he took money away from all of these social programs. Okay. So they used
So before him,
you used to have mental health hospitals plentiful, where they would determine look, this person doesn't need to be locked up; they need to go away to a hospital. And then in the 80s, they died down. And then they just died out, and you didn't see these hospitals anymore, and it just became strictly locked up. And that's kind of where we've been for 30 plus years now, where no matter what the situation is, they come out and they lock your ass up. And I just think that, because you got Charlemagne, dude, he took mental health and that's his now. You can't even, which look, I'm not here to question anybody's how genuine they are about anything, but if we keep it in a buck, I think he understands that it's a good play for his brand to be on mental health. And I ain't mad at it if it helps some people, but I do think that overall we need to figure out a way, because it's a lot of people, like the episode of Atlanta, right? When he's in that, he in the holding cell,
and they beat him up, and tased him and all that shit.
And it's he's in the holding cell, and it's the crazy one come out and do all of this crazy shit, and they laughing, and people love it. And he's sitting there y'all might want to get this nigga some help, But I love that show for that reason, because it puts it in a perspective where you can understand. He joked about it, but it was a real topic, And it goes back to the black community and how we treat people as, that's my crazy cousin, that's my crazy.
I'm about to say, everybody got crazy cousins and uncles.
We do.
Everybody. But I do think we need to embrace it.
But that's the thing. Crazy became dismissive of people.
Right.
When you start calling people crazy, you can just dismiss the actual issue instead of actually having to deal with it. So, that's why I don't like to call some people crazy. But I don't like to call people that's. I just don't. I actually might need to just start calling everybody crazy. I don't like the word crazy. But
in the same breath, I'm not gonna sit up here, because I get accused of being Mr. PC, I'm just whatever, how the wind is blowing, and then that's just what I say, and that ain't the case, because something like this, I do think that that's a hand that can be overplayed. You can blame things on mental health now, and that's not fair.
No, dead ass. So
you know what I mean?
So now it's so taboo now. To the point where anybody who says it, I got anxiety, which takes away from the people who actually suffer from the shit, because you want to get caught doing some dumb shit
and then blame it on
that.
Do you think that's a valid thing that people?
I really do. A lot of these. This is, I don't really.
Niggas.
I'm not even talking about the niggas. I'm talking about a lot of these crimes that have been committed.
Right.
And the first thing, if you are of another ethnicity besides our own,
a pilgrim.
yes, they'll say, hey, he's got mental health issues, so then they'll get less time and so on and so forth.
Hey, them niggas.
But 9 times out of 10, they really do
them
have
niggas will plead insanity, bitch.
real quick.
Thanks.
Real quick. And but if one of us do it, I don't know if it's so accepted, as fast as it is
serial killers plead insanity. And they almost, in fact, I've never seen a black serial killer. But
that's the point I was going to make.
Couple.
They all claim insanity.
That was crazy.
But see, how crazy? What the fuck does crazy mean, man?
There has to be a level of accountability, because, and I remember a couple years ago on this show, me and Quayla getting into a crazy argument about personal responsibility versus I can just blame this on a condition. And I was fed the fuck up that day. And I was like, look, you can't always just say, well, this is, and I'm noticing this is what happens more and more now. And it's just well, this is just how I am. Hey, fam, you're going to have to figure something out then, because decisions are being made, and then people want to on the back end be like, "Oh, well, I'm off." Nah, no.
You have to be able to.
You got to be able to stand up. And
first of all, this is the thing though with that. It's even with depression. A lot of people that claim they depressed. The people who normally that have like these mental health issues are typically ashamed of it. Number one, they don't even speak of the shit. They try to do the burying and they do the I'm all right. This is just like this is just what it is.
Right.
And they know something is off with them. So when people start to pull the car, like, yeah, this man, my anxiety acting up today, or it's acting up tomorrow, or I got a flare up, my anxiety flaring up. Like it's those type of things. Like
it's a level. Okay, and I get mad about this too. I think that we're starting to somehow intertwine those issues with social media and attention. So now it gets confusing because now I don't know what you're here for. Are you here for help? Are you just here to be like, man? Because I see some people, I be like, man, your life fucked up every day. Like, like, look, even if you're dealing with mental health issues or if you're depressed or whatever it is, like, man, like it got to be a good day. Some of these days. So some people, I be like, are you just doing this? Is it a cry for help? Are you serious? Or you just want attention? And it's hard to figure out. I mean, I guess it ain't our jobs to figure it out.
Nah, we don't got to figure nothing out.
We don't have to care either, though.
But this is the thing. My brother does this all the time.
Your brother that's diagnosed?
No. My
okay.
brother. He will sit and post how depressed and how sad his life is. I'm talking about all day.
Right,
every day.
right.
How sad are you to thumb through an app looking for the saddest memes on the planet to save and then post them?
Like, man,
how sad?
How sad is a motherfucker?
Right.
Nah, that ain't it.
Damn.
Hey, but you know what though? There is something to be said for that because I say that about people, and y'all can say I'm wrong or whatever, but don't post a hospital bed picture
with your band
with the band on,
right.
Or you holding the hand of somebody that's dying, and now, or a straight selfie of tears of you just like this, like, man, I'm fucked up out here. What made you grab your phone?
Right, exactly.
Say me like I'm fucked up. If I'm really feeling like
how
that,
sad are you?
I don't want anybody. I want to be alone.
That's my issue.
I'm about to cry. I feel it coming.
I'm sadder than a motherfucker. Let me.
That's something you said. You want attention from something.
Yeah. And you gotta wait for the start video on live to do it, to get your tear off.
Hey, I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get in here.
It's something.
I ain't got the tears yet.
Even before the end, like. Ain't there a countdown like 5, 4? You gotta wait 5 seconds to get your tear off.
Think about it, like
you gotta wait.
That's real though.
It is real.
But if you say that, then you're looked at like as a hater. But it's like if I'm genuinely sad, I'm not grabbing my phone to go be sad.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this, because I'm not the attention seeker, and like you said before, I'm depressed and I'm real quiet about it. I don't go telling. I'm going through a whole bunch of stuff, and you would never know what I'm going through.
Right.
I don't look like what I'm going through.
Right.
You know that.
Right. That saying, yeah.
So if there's people out there like me, and if there's something that's happening and you can't take it no more, you literally about to probably lose your life or kill yourself or something, maybe they're grabbing that. Maybe they're at that point where they grabbing their phone, like trying to help them out of it. I'm not saying them, but if it's a person that constantly do it, you're not gonna sit there. You're not gonna sit there and if you're constantly doing it. I know.
No. So look.
No, she feels so bad for him.
She's an
pick your phone up.
She's an empty.
Tears off.
Yeah.
But they're probably really about to really.
All right, so
that's fine. All right, if they do that, but don't.
But not
do
every
that
time.
By yourself. We don't need your lives.
Maybe they are by themselves. Maybe they need somebody to help them off the edge.
All right, so boom. If you see somebody and they do that, right, and you like, man, they looking bad, you reach out, right? You like, look, I seen your post, I seen your video, I'm just
making sure you're all right,
right? And then the next day, They posting about how good the Wingstop was. Right?
You see what I'm saying?
They about to watch the game. How you feeling? Are you like, well...
No, the point I was making is, if it's somebody that doesn't usually do it,
okay,
that's gonna grab
so
my
if it sticks out to you, like,
yeah, you really feel like, oh, something really wrong because this person. But like you're saying, like if your brother, he does it all the time. No, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god.
It got to the point where people text me and I'm like, hey man, just block him, man.
That'd be crazy
it's
too.
not believable.
When people hit you about your people,
Oh,
yo, is he good? You be like, man, that nigga.
Yeah, he good, man. He good.
Yes. Yeah, but to answer your question, no, I would be like, oh, you was playing game. That's not even cool.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. Don't do that.
But
not to say that they can't feel that way from one day to the next, but I just think that if that's how you feel, you may want to just
keep it to yourself. You don't have to broadcast it.
But if you get on Facebook, I'm about to kill myself. Life is over with. I can't fucking do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Send. Like, it's gonna be too late for me to call you to be like, yeah, no.
They wanted you to call.
Right, but if I call, it'd be if they was really serious about it.
They would have.
Saying
boom.
But you know, people run that
saying,
line.
Or who types that? Put the gun in the head.
People have done that line.
True.
Let me check my phone and make sure I ain't got no notifications before I do this.
I just seen a video of a dude that I guess his girl left him or something like that, and he was on live and he was like,
killed himself.
He took a shotgun.
I mean,
boom, boom. But
what am I gonna do?
Those are the extreme cases, though. Those are the extreme. But I will say,
what am I gonna do?
What am I doing if you do that? Like he already knew what he was about to do. What I'm gonna do?
We started this convo because it's mental health.
It's mental health,
right? So if you are in need,
yes, please,
right? We don't want to
go see a therapist. Stop telling us on the timeline that you feel this way. We don't care.
We
don't care.
No, Facebook don't care.
Nah,
Instagram really don't care. Twitter definitely don't care. As
an individual, people may care, but as a collective, these social media sites don't.
If a nigga get on Twitter and say, I'm about to kill myself, I can't do this, somebody will get in that mentions, hey, go live.
They don't. And then after it's done, then they be like, man, shit.
And then go live, and then when he kill himself, it's gonna be jokes about killing himself on live. It's gonna be just.
For real. I think what he's saying though is that there is no love. There's no genuine love. There's no sympathy from strangers.
Text.
So you shouldn't pick
your phone up and text a family member. Pick up your phone, call.
You shouldn't go. Doctor. Don't go looking for solace in people that you don't know.
I done seen niggas try to tell people.
It's been filthy. Absolutely.
In the comments of a thing, hey, kill yourself or it ain't real.
Yep.
Like that's what people do on the social media.
But that's where
so there's no reason for you to put that on there because we don't care. Get help from family. Get help from an actual.
That's where we are now. But I think people don't realize that that's where we are now and how outlandish social media is as a platform. They don't think that it's like you really still hoping that there's these like real people that you connect with.
There is, but you won't hear them amongst all the chaos.
So look, if you're feeling that way, if you truly feel like, look,
call 911.
We're not knocking you, but for real, you probably shouldn't be posting every day that you like. No, go seek professional help. If you can't, there are some entities and outlets out here because I know for real therapy and all of that is expensive. You may not have insurance. I get all of that, but you really need to go and seek out that help. And if you don't, even let us know and we'll figure it out and
find something for you. But that's all I'm saying is like people care, like your people care. We don't. I don't know you, so I'm not about to talk you off no ledge. And even if I try to talk you off the ledge, people are going to.
Yeah.
In nature of like even celebrities, they see negative shit before they see the positive.
Always.
Or they respond to the negative shit. Yeah, so it's not nothing we gonna be able to do for you. If you're feeling froggy,
didn't
leave.
We don't want you to leave.
No.
I'm saying or go get some help.
Go get help.
I don't have a degree in nothing.
Don't leave.
I can't help you. I can't talk you through your problem. I can't.
Guys, don't leave.
And jokes. People gonna get these jokes too.
Jokes is gonna get off.
Them jokes
go
are
get
going
help.
to get off.
Now I really think that this next dude may have been or be suffering from some type of mental health. This story to me is so absurd and so out of line and so out of pocket that I can't even fathom that it happened.
It's not funny.
It's not funny at all. So it's not funny at all.
Sorry if I laugh.
It's not funny at all. So there's a story that came out. A toddler, a little girl, died in a hot car because the father refused to have his window broken. It ain't funny, but I understand why, because it's so ridiculous.
We fresh off of the Fuck Them Kids episode. I wholeheartedly believe Fuck Them Kids.
We should have talked about that.
However,
we should have talked about that.
We bring this in. People who say fuck them kids and are full-time parents is a joke. It's an inside joke for full-time parents who want to say fuck their kids. This is not for deadbeats or negligent people to say fuck.
Y'all don't get to use that.
Y'all don't get to use that. Y'all don't get to say that. Y'all don't get to play around.
That's a fact.
Or even play around with it. So when I say fuck them kids, I mean fuck my kids because I'm full-time around them.
I was surprised at the backlash that you got from that part of last week's episode. I saw it. They was telling you to choose your words wisely, change your words. You said that your child or your children bring no value.
Intangible value.
So,
or tangible value.
Right, tangible value. But once you said that your kids brought no value, everybody just instantly.
But most of them feel that way. They just don't want to say it.
Oh, so
like, what the fuck do your kids do for you at 8 years old, tangibly? What do they do for you besides cost money?
Well, like Nancy Nichole said last week, they give you unconditional love.
Yes.
They
don't look like that. Like, no, seriously.
You know how many times your kids are probably saying, man, fuck her when they walked off?
Because they don't like to be disciplined.
That's conditional.
But still, the whole thing is like, there be days I'll be going through it, I'm, whatever, and then that love, that child comes and give me a hug. It's like, you're the best mommy.
Because they need you.
And I need them.
You don't need
I want that
child. Initially.
Yes, I do.
You're not the one who needs them.
I didn't know how much I needed them until I brought that child into the earth.
See, I brought mine in, and I immediately saw, like, yeah, this one ain't gonna be shit. Or this one, you get the first moment, like, my baby. That's how long does that last, though? Realistically, how long?
Sometimes, bro, you cannot lie, though. Sometimes that hug, that kiss, that can change your whole day.
It can change. No,
it don't.
No, not no real shit that happened. If I'm stressed out about my job or something, they're little snot. They the reason I got the job.
Oh, geez.
I gotta have this job to take care of them.
You need a job regardless if you had kids or not.
I understand that, but me looking at them don't take my mind off of the bad shit in my job. The bad job, I work because I gotta take care of these.
All right, so look, hey, any hate mail for LeRon about his takes on children, send it to the Green Room Podcast at gmail.com.
I love my kids, one. You say that. I just don't like them all the time. And y'all was gotta be y'all.
No, I don't like my kids all the time. No, I only have one, but I don't like him all the time. Of course not. Sometimes I be like, man, fam, I'm ready. Yeah, I want to put hands on you.
Don't say don't like.
I want to put hands on him.
Just get on your nerve.
I want to put hands on him occasionally.
Just get on your nerve.
Okay, like, okay.
That's you good.
We went to the gas station. We went out to the stores yesterday, right? Just me and him. Mm-hmm. Go to the store, go to the gas station. I get out, I pumping gas. He says, can you get an icy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I didn't say yes or no. I just was like, I heard him. I was like, all right. Now I got the keys in the ignition. My phone is sitting there. The windows is down. The gas is pumping. I pump the gas and I start heading into Speedway. I hear, doom. I look back. He's chasing me to the door. Doors unlocked. Keys in the car.
Phone, everything.
Fam, what are you doing? Oh, well, Daddy, I just get your monkey ass back in the car. Now he looking at me like this. I'm sorry. I didn't know. And now you're making me feel bad. Mm-hmm. But it's like, nah, man, you knew to stay your ass in the car. If I don't tell you to get out, you don't get out. Mm-hmm. They push the envelope on you. And then when you push back, you look like a terrible parent. And it's like, no, you knew what you was or what you were not supposed to do. So yeah, there's sometimes I just may want to be alone with my wife. I just might want to just be why are you coming in this room, fam? Why are you needing things? Why are you? Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
See, that's what I'm
but
saying.
I won't go as
Where
far.
the value come in?
The value come in. Look, the value comes in when they tell
tangible value.
Nah, but sometimes it don't have to be tangible.
You can't touch a hug or kiss.
When I had to get surgery earlier this year.
Oh, hold on. Let's go back to that real quick. The tangible. Okay, you said the feeling. Those aren't tangible. Those are intangibles. I'm talking about the tangible values that they bring to you.
I did not say at that age, unless they are working a paper route, unless they are doing, because at some, there are
so does that make my statement
it's just the way,
false?
It's the way, not that it's false, it's how it, the problem is how you said it and how it, and
it was the truth.
It may be truthful, but
that's all I wanted to know.
But it may be truthful, but it's how you, like, I would not say to my child, you don't bring no value to me.
I don't say value. I say intangible value.
But still, they don't even know at 8 what tangible means.
They don't even know what tangible means.
That's up to her or them to figure out.
It's negative, and it just doesn't make them feel good.
Just like these kids is gonna be able
got a roof over their head. It should feel good.
All of these kids is gonna be able to go back one day and see that their moms had like OnlyFans and that they was getting loose. They're gonna be able to come and look at this podcast and be like, damn, my dad said I ain't bring no value to his life.
They don't change the statement.
All right, so look, anyway.
They don't pay no bills, they don't do nothing for me financially or
we got off on a tangent. The story was about this father in Las Vegas. Yeah. The story was about this father in Las Vegas who left his daughter inside of a hot car
for something tangible.
Locked her in, could not get the keys out, and refused to have anyone.
He is the epitome of this kid does nothing for me tangible.
Fam. His daughter was in a back seat.
That's how old was she?
I don't even know.
10 months.
Was she 10 months?
She was 10 months old. Like, damn.
I don't understand.
Okay, so this is number one, and this is a black dude.
Yes, it's a black dude, unfortunately.
If the kid was white and the white dude said, do not bust up my car doors, would the cops have busted that window out anyway? They seen the little black kid in that car.
And you feel like the cops felt that baby didn't have enough worth to bust the... Because they ended up busting it out eventually.
It was too late by then.
But that don't make no sense to me.
I don't understand that. Like, how did they find out? The cops must have seen it first. Why did you have to wait for the dad to come out to say something?
Exactly.
Y'all done busted out niggas' eye sockets for less.
Facts.
You see a kid in there,
right?
If you got any, first of all, if you see a kid in there with the windows up,
are you placing more blame on them than the dad?
No, hell no.
Oh, it's still the dad.
It's still him because it was still his decision to tell him don't bust my windows out.
How do you sound?
It don't make sense to me
at all.
None of this because his brother had came first,
right? And why would you not bust out the window?
The brother said he was gonna bust the window out, and the father was like, "No, call insurance, call." Yeah.
He would have just had to fight me in the parking lot.
That's my niece in the car. I gotta break your window.
I wouldn't even have asked him.
Yeah.
But then he called a mama too.
Yeah, he called the mama too.
Wait, was the keys locked? How did the keys?
He locked the keys in the car. And then he was like trying to call insurance and a locksmith. All of these different.
Like a 1992 or something.
Nah, man, these
whips now you can't lock the car from the inside. And if you do, you got an extra key on the outside that can actually unlock the car. The keys wasn't in the car. That was just in the
there and couldn't do nothing with it. But do y'all think though? Okay, so you see a lot of this nowadays, and they say that you need to be careful who you have kids with, who you procreate with. Like, would you in a million years think that maybe a guy that you had a child with would say don't?
You can't foretell that.
You don't know.
You can't. You just don't know when a nigga do something like that.
So what if you was to get blamed for that? Like, what type of dude is she dealing with that wouldn't break the glass on?
I'm having issues with the mama right now.
Really?
Yeah. Did you read it? Because like she sat there and said like she's calling the insurance company. If my child's father call me and tell me, yo, the baby is locked in the car and I don't want to bust the window because I can't pay for the window to be broken, and the baby is locked in there, and it's hot in Vegas. We know how hot it gets in Vegas.
That sounds crazy.
If you don't bust that damn window open, I'm gonna bust your head wide open, and you better bust it open right the damn. I'm not calling nobody's insurance company. I'm not calling AAA. Nigga, get a damn rock and bust that damn window open, and we can work on getting that window fixed later. It's called plastic.
Facts.
10 months. 10 months.
I'm a mama first. I don't give a damn. Like, you ain't gonna sit here and tell me my kid 10 months here can't get out the seat, can't do nothing for herself. Bust the damn window open.
I'd have had to knock him out. And
I know
I'm
I
knocking
would.
the window out, and then I'm knocking him
Yeah,
out.
after the fact.
Especially if
Because
I'm
why
the
are you
brother.
even questioning that?
Like,
Why
man,
is
we
it a question?
got to fight now because
It's bad.
You calling the mama, you calling the brother, and it's a debate about breaking the window open?
Nothing about the story made sense to me.
all of that shit just sound crazy.
got me
And honestly, we'll and I think they only hold him on like $20,000
Bond.
bond. I don't know if he's gonna get out, but
You could have broke the window, but it's $200.
I'm
I want
curious.
to know what car it was, what kind of car.
Oh, they said it was like a Nissan. It wasn't not like okay. It wouldn't have mattered what car it was.
No, not Ed. No, I didn't mean Ed. I didn't mean Ed. No, I didn't mean that.
Wait.
But
I see where you're going.
Okay.
Right? No car would have made it okay to leave a baby inside of it. But when people read this in their head, it would be like, oh, it must have been a.
bruh,
You know what I'm saying?
You
It must
got
have
the Rolls Royces.
been a Phantom or a
Are you going to bust the window out of your car? I don't think he's thinking like my kid about to die in there. My kid could.
But you in Vegas, bro.
I
It's
get
100
it.
inside.
I'm not making no excuses.
Right.
I'm just saying, if the car.
But see,
this is
also,
hypothetical. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
when you was talking about the mom,
fucking Nissan.
another part of that I read was that I think he told the mother that the air was on in there.
He lied,
but
yes.
but it wasn't, and he lied.
But my question to her was like, how is let's be common sense, because how's the air on and your keys are in the car?
Right.
Like, is the key in the ignition or not?
Right.
Because if the kid ain't listening, the
'cause
car ain't locked.
It's a lot of stuff with that.
It doesn't, you have to really, still, I don't give a dang on. It's not a question to me. You're going to bust that window open.
You gotta bust the window out.
Yeah, the cops should have just whooped his ass.
As soon as they got there, like, what are you
And see,
thinking?
and look,
Hags.
And that's the
Right.
crazy thing,
It would
right?
not have been a question.
They think that we just, especially as black people, when you talk about brutality and all that, it's like, man, you don't want to see no nigga get his ass whooped. If they'd have whooped his ass, I'd have been like,
yeah, that happened.
I mean,
he got that coming.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Some people got it coming. Yeah,
I wouldn't have been too mad.
that wasn't a question.
But no, we're gonna follow it though. I want to see how this plays out because I'm curious to hear what he has to say because I haven't heard anything from his side of it other than I didn't want to break my window, and I honestly just can't fathom that was it. So we'll see what he says.
He left a
sad
10.
situation though. Sad situation.
Now, if the kid was like 10.
Well,
And that 10-year-old would know how to bust the window.
I was gonna say a
I
10-year-old would
I just
have
open and unlock it.
Yeah.
a 10-year-old would have figured out how to get
Yeah,
out.
but my point is, you left a 10-month-old baby
To go do what?
in the car
To do what?
to do what? That you couldn't put that baby on your hip and walk in and
And do
whatever
what you need to do. Yep. I left. I was
You know
shocked.
what? He
I
probably
believe.
married and he probably was on at a duck offs.
Ooh.
He probably
You
couldn't-
cannot speculate that he was doing that.
allegedly. That ain't how allegedly
You can't.
works.
No, it's not. You just made up all the story and then said allegedly. You can't do that. All right. So one of the last things we want to talk
It
about.
was something he couldn't take the baby in the house though. Like I can't take this baby in this house right now.
I mean, but she 10 months. She wouldn't even been able to say nothing. Like,
Still, like I guess, yeah.
whatever. So the last thing I want to talk about is we had talked about it before. We talked about Tory Lanez and Meg. He's finally been charged.
Which don't mean shit.
So he's been charged with a felony count of, I think, having a semi-automatic
It's like
weapon.
different charges.
Yeah, he got a few charges.
People been on. I told y'all he shot that girl. It's a charge.
Right, that don't
It
mean he's
is not
convicted.
mean
He's
that
convicted.
he got convicted of anything. They arrested
Hey,
him.
you know what's so funny about the internet? Like, even now that he's facing, 22 years or something like that?
22.
And instantly I saw, they gonna get Tory 22. I'm like, y'all don't read
They know.
nothing. Like, they don't want to say the nigga was getting 22. That's what he was facing. Obviously, he would never do 22 years for this. But we talked about it before, And now that he's actually formally been charged, he put a statement out, I think, and said, whatever, God got him, the truth is gonna come out, which is what most guilty niggas say. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Anytime niggas say God got me and the truth gonna come out, you did something. You definitely did.
But he
something.
said he did something. He said it didn't happen how she said it.
You definitely did something. But with the charges finally actually being formally charged, you personally, I know we talked about this, and you was like, look, I'm not placing any judgment or blame on Tory until I know what's going on. Does him being charged change anything for you?
All they did was arrest him. They arrested him and charged
So the story can still be what the story
is. It's still what it is. OJ got charged and this nigga got off for murder. It don't mean nothing.
OJ also killed the shit out of her.
Right, but he got off though. What I'm saying is though, he got off. But he got charged.
Nichole Brown.
He got charged and it meant nothing.
I feel you. So technically. But what is your gut telling you? Because you've been steadfast by I'm waiting for facts to come out. When myself personally,
I'm not waiting.
I think Tory shot her.
I don't care about.
Do you think he shot her?
I don't know.
Do you think he shot? I don't know. Say what you
know.
What do you think from what you know?
When she said that he shot her,
yes,
I thought so.
Okay.
When he said he didn't, I no longer thought so anymore. He said he didn't do it. No, so I'm back at square one. Now I'm back at I don't care.
That is not how deductive reasoning works.
That's how mine
You
works.
have to take both of their stories and come to your own conclusion and tell me what LeRon think.
No, because what could happen in this is I can jump out the window and say this nigga shot her in the hoof and it was a wrap.
In the hoof. That's a big.
But however,
it's a big problem. It's a big problem.
But part two of that,
you're not protecting black women.
If it comes back that she was lying, what is going to be the energy? Oh, never. I'm sorry, Tory. I didn't mean it. Why you gotta be sorry? Just don't say shit. Wait until you get all the facts.
Do you think he shot her?
I feel like he did. I don't see the gain of Megan lying. I really and truly don't.
You say the same thing about Juicy Smollett. We don't see why he would lie about this. Nigga made up a whole story. That's all I'm saying. I'm not equating the two instances. What I'm saying is that we jumped out the window. A lot of people jumped out the window when he blamed them two white men for hanging him, and we was all like, oh.
So do you feel like black men are not being protected in this instance, like because everybody's taking her side? Do you feel like he has been thrown?
See, no, because it's still, this is what I'm saying, no, because it's still people who do not, there are still women who thinks that he didn't do it. I've
seen a lot of women.
Right. So there is a lot of, there is two sides to this, and it's okay to say, I don't know. I'm not about to accuse him, and I'm not going to say she lied.
So the reason for bringing up Tory and Meg and the charges was because there was a broader conversation that we had
that don't equate to this.
That you say it doesn't equate to this. You say it doesn't equate to this, but we wanted to talk about protecting black women. Nancy, is something that you mentioned last episode, just as far as women feeling like we don't have y'all, or we ain't got y'all back. So I had posed a question on Facebook, and it kind of had got a little crazy in there, just as far as men and women in this whole topic. Because it's almost like a hashtag, protect black women, right? And you see this all of the time, and they feel like that black men don't protect black women, and it's more than a physical thing. Like, let's get that out the way.
It's
not like, let me shield you from the car that's coming. It's more of protecting my feelings, protecting my peace, going to bat for me when I feel like the world is against me.
That's the disconnect, is that there are so many black men who were raised in the physical aspect of what protection means. Not communicating, not emotional, being in touch with that side of us, not speaking or talking out. That hasn't been the narrative, not for every black man, obviously. But the narrative for us is the protection, like physical. I protect my wife, I protect my sister, I protect my daughter, I protect my female friends, cousins. They thinking of it. A lot of men are thinking of it in the aspect of the physical. There's a lot of women who's thinking of it physical too, right? But emotionally, mentally. What other way is it?
Well, I think first off, we should start this way. As the black woman, on the panel in the seat, right?
I'm speaking.
We should start with you, because as a Black woman, we want to know from you your feelings on it. Like, what do you feel about it? What do you feel about the idea of a lot of women feeling like we don't protect y'all? Like, and we talked about it last week.
Did.
But I just want you to kind of reiterate and just kind of give me your take on all of that.
First, because I want to hit the point I said last week, because it's the number one part. How can the man protect the Black woman? First of all, if anything for anyone, you can't protect someone that you don't respect. First of all, you have to respect me and who I am as a woman in your life, or in general, like just even Black women in general. You have to respect them. You have to uplift them, you know, when you speak about them. So a lot of this music today, a lot of, you know, it's heard, they downgrade, they call us bitches, they say this and that and that. Stop speaking negatively about the Black woman. It starts there too. You have to uplift us, hold us up, and like I said, speak well about us. In communication, like you said, you have to communicate. Allow us to speak our voice. Allow our voices to be heard. Allow our views to be valuable. Allow us to be able to participate in all levels of everything. You know, remember, we're just as equivalent as a man is. Mm-hmm. We can do just as many things. Now, can we do as far as the strength and things, stuff like that? Maybe our strength may not be as physically as strong, but we can hold shit down.
Yeah, and I can pay half rent and
yes, we can. And I have no
That's
problem
just a conversation that's been going on the.
Paying half.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that another time. Like that conversation.
It's been a lot of the whole 50-50 conversation between men and women, but
yeah.
But as far as the whole protecting aspect and everything that you just said, so when I posed the question out, what you just said was a lot of what I got back from a lot of Black women, right? Mm-hmm. It was a lot of men think of it in one form, which is the physical form. And we don't take into account the protection. So the reason why, remember when I had put up there and I was like, yo, Meg and Tori's situation could be like a poster child for this conversation. And he was like, eh. And I was like, well, I'm not speaking to the situation itself, but the reactions from it. When Meg came out with it, a lot of it was, well, damn, what you expect him to do? Look how big she is versus how little he is. But okay, they're jokes, but from what I could see, those jokes resonate and they really mean something to women because they feel like that's a lack of protection. They don't look at it as just jokes. They look at it as, yo, this woman was shot. We don't know all of the circumstances that surrounded it, but the fact that men are coming out and making jokes about it makes it look like they could care less about her well-being or how she feels or what happened. So, so what do you think? Is it just jokes for you? Is it just because I've seen a lot of that? Like, oh man, look how big she is. To me, I thought it was whack. I thought it was corny. Like, yeah, you can get some jokes off. We know
they're not always good jokes.
But the fact that you come out and you joke about it, I think is what bothers Black women.
It wouldn't have been look. So this is the extreme how I look at it. If she would have been like got smoked and like that was it,
right?
Okay, she got shot in the foot. So I'm not saying that excuses. She got shot by somebody, right? And allegedly shot by a Black man. Right. That's whack as fuck if that happened. What I'm saying, however, is that like I said about people talking about killing themselves, it's gonna be jokes. Especially if you get shot, like you got shot in the foot. Nobody's taking that serious because you survived it. And I'm not saying again that it makes it right that happened to her.
But that's
what I'm saying. On social media, there's going to be jokes. It's going to be. The worst I've seen September 11th. Jokes.
Oh yeah, people gonna get their jokes off.
It's going to happen.
All right, so look, I'm gonna pose this to you next, Nichole. So when I posted this and we talked about the protecting Black women thing, pushback that I seen from some men was like, what y'all want protection from us for? Because y'all said y'all was independent. Y'all said y'all didn't need us. You're a savage. you're a this, you're a that.
I didn't read any.
Oh yeah. It was a lot of dudes like, I'm not understanding. Like, to me, it seemed like it's just more of a trade-off, and you just want something from me, or you're not concerned with me protecting you. You're more concerned about getting what you want out of me as opposed to protecting me. And these are actual takes from black men.
But it's crazy
that I
even
saw.
hearing that just from. This is why social media should not be taken seriously, and why, like, when you see people who say shit like that, you can understand why their lives are the way they be. The same ones saying, "Y'all, I would wife one of y'all, but y'all don't do this, and y'all don't do that."
But see, I think there's a disconnect, and there's an age disconnect for one, right? Our age, to me, I don't feel like there's any issues with any of my homies where I feel like they wouldn't be protecting their woman, a black woman, or any of that. But when you start to look a little younger down the line, they operate on something
media,
completely
bro.
different than what we operate on.
Social media.
It's like, I don't
But
need
it's also,
you.
we see more. It's more dumb motherfuckers in the world than there are smart.
Always. And I think
It's way more dumb. So once you give dumb motherfuckers the power to have any type of voice, you hear all the dumb shit. And then you get a lot of those women who say they don't feel protected, looking up or loving these people, these personalities that they're seeing these opinions from.
Can you be a strong black woman, independent, bad bitch, savage, and still need or want protection from a black man?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Explain it.
I mean, here we go. Like I have to agree with you. What are you thinking? Like, the concept is like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you not?
A lot of that should be shock value too. Some niggas be on there just saying stuff just to go against the grain.
But I'm pretty sure, like, there's no one. I mean, I love the fact that I can be independent. This is what we're fighting for, women's rights and all this, so on and so forth. I do want that. But still, the man that I'm with or the community, I still want to feel that I'm secure with wherever I'm at. You know, I want you to respect me. I want you to hear what I have to say. I want you to come to my defense if necessary. It has nothing to do with my independence of what I bring to the table as far as financially, you know. It has nothing to do with me feeling, to me, like I said, that's like a mentality. Like I need to know that I'm secure with the community and especially my man.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about, physical protection. Like, so if I'm out here working my butt off, just like if he's out here working his butt off, I still want us to be able to be 50-50 and be able to take care of one another. Whether it be financially, whether it be like, I'm in the hospital and I'm down for 3 weeks. Can you handle what's going on at home? Because I'm not there to cook and clean and to, wash clothes and so on and so forth. Can you flip the script and be in my position? I still need to be able to know, like, if I have a problem at my job or if the kids have a problem at their school and if I want to go talk to the principal and I feel this type of way, will you back me on my stance on that?
Do you think that y'all show us more love than we show y'all?
Of course I do. Because you don't hear us a lot, like,
I heard some shit.
I'm not saying it's not that we don't, but I feel that it's a woman's nature. A woman's nature is to nurture, to protect. That's a woman's nature. So that's just like an automatic given. Do I say all women have this frame, do it properly or do it? No, I'm not saying that.
But that's the problem with that, the social media aspect of it, is because those same people, what is their average age group? And even if they are older, it's still a dumb stance to have that these women who require this would never come across those type of people anyway. Right. It's not going to happen, but social media literally has given dummies the opportunity to use their thumbs and just move their thumbs and say shit that they're the people they talking about is out of the league anyway. Let's be honest, they're not about that. Because if a woman already like thinks like you think, you're not going to be in situations around niggas who ain't going to protect you anyway. It's not going to make sense.
Do that. So, all right, so this is what I'm gonna do, right? So, in like all of the social media stuff, I had a homie. He had some very strong opinions about what he felt about this whole topic. So I was like, I'm gonna call him, let him get his couple cents in real quick, so he can say what he want to say. So I told him to hit him up, and I just want to hear what he got to say about it, because it's no use of having a conversation. That's one thing I want to broaden it. It don't need to just be us two and you. Like, we need varying opinions from different places, because we're all in different spots, and some people just feel differently. And you just, my thing is that as a man, I don't want to shut how you feel down, and then as a woman, I will help you be like, because a big thing is like, why are y'all pushing back on this as men? If I say I don't feel protected, I don't feel protected, and y'all should accordingly listen and adjust. Yeah. And there was a lot of dudes
it ain't about what you. It ain't about what the question was posed to women. They're allowed to feel
right.
They are allowed. They feel. If they feel unprotected, then they feel unprotected.
It's not to minimize that.
Tell you that you ain't shit, or whatever you doing, you ain't protecting us, or you the problem. It's not to say that. It's to say we don't feel protected. We need y'all to do better. The conversation should then go into how can we do that. And once that conversation happens, if the man want to say, okay, so now can we address how we feel? It's a conversation. It isn't about this conversation. Isn't to tell
who's right, who's wrong.
It's not, but if I take me taking the woman's side for a second here, I think that if there's a certain perceived line of behavior for so long, then it's like, it's been like this for so long. Like, yeah, cool, let's have a dialogue. But at the very least, y'all need to just accept that we're saying that this is how we feel. And I think a lot of it comes from dudes giving, because it was like dudes on my comments like, man, I don't know if I really agree with this. I don't know if I believe it, but I'm open to listen to it, because it seems like I keep hearing more black women say that they feel this way.
Because the typical response that you're going to get from a lot of black males is, well, look how she dressed. Look how she carries.
And see,
and it's right. It's whack as fuck. It's that's what the conversation always turns into. It turns into, oh,
she don't need my
look at Cardi B. Like, look at her, laughing at her.
She don't need to be protected.
Right. She don't need. Right.
Exactly. And that's bullshit. And I think that as men, we need to embrace the idea that no matter how, like, to me, how I was raised, it don't matter. It don't matter how. I don't care if you selling sex. I don't care if you doing this. I don't care if you doing that. If you are in any type of danger, and it don't just have to be physical. Like I said, a lot of times from them comments that I saw, it was like, y'all don't even speak up. Y'all don't even raise your voice and be like, no, this is not how we operate. This is not how our women are. And it's a lot of sometimes your silence and your complicity is just as bad as, you know, being on the other side. So let me see if he answer. I just want to see. I just want to see what he gonna say, man. That's we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes, because he was like, I know, passionate. Yeah, he really had it.
Hello.
Yo.
What up?
What's going on, man?
How we do?
I'm chilling, man. I told you I was gonna call you. I just want to get your 2 cents on that topic from Facebook about protecting black women. And I just want to see, I said it's a whole lot of different people that feel different ways, men and women. And I just want to see, like, what your take is after all of them comments and everything on the post. What do you say about it?
I mean, like, it's like, I believe it, but, like, what is the protect part coming from? Like, what do they mean by protect? Like, you feel me?
Most women say that we don't.
Physically?
No. So that was a lot of the comments. It was beyond physical. It was that we don't stand up for them. We don't speak up for them. We don't hold it down, basically.
Yeah, the same way we don't get held down for ourselves.
All right, so tell me why you feel like that.
Because most guys I know, they treat their women nice and they protect their women. Like, I know you protect Sher. You feel me?
Right.
I know Jawan, he protects old girl. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
He protects his wife. Most of the men I know do that. It's only coming basically from the girls I feel like who've been in a million relationships and they keep going through the same thing over and over. Those are the women You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like she already thinks you protect her.
She should. I hope so.
That's what I really feel like. It's only like the single girls, basically.
All right, so D, Nancy is on the show today, a female, a woman. You can't see her face, but she's shaking her head. So I want to let her say what she want to say in response to what you just said.
How are you?
I'm alright. What's up?
We're not talking about just in the relationship perspective. We're talking about in the overall women being protected by a male, the black man, not just in a relationship stance. We're talking about overall. So can you give me another example of that?
Yeah, I believe overall. I believe so. Like you saying, like as far as me being out on a date and like.
No, you don't have to be in a relationship with this woman. I'm just talking about overall. You see a woman's point of view, like black women. What do you think about black women? How do you protect a black woman overall? Not even someone that you know, just in general. How do you feel black men protect us? Not even somebody like you're in a relationship with.
That's like a hard question because I'm not like. If I see you out being hurt or something, I'll protect you. But other than that, like I'm not talking bad on you if that's what y'all mean, or like calling you bitches unless that's how I feel that you are.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like we have to make sure we're on the same page. So we're not just talking about black women needing protecting just by the man that they're with. We're talking about overall.
Yeah, I understand that. And I feel like we could get that same thing. Black men aren't getting that either.
Yeah. But that's not the question. The question is, how do you as a black man feel that you protect or should protect black women?
It's like the question is like an open-ended question. As far as my dating life, I don't protect them. I don't have a reason to.
There you go.
Okay.
You said you don't have a reason, and that's the point that's being made. That black men don't protect black women.
I'm not just walking around protecting people, like you know what I'm saying.
So we're not talking about physical.
Thinking about women.
This is not physical protection. This is what we're saying. Like I said at this table, like black men need to first of all understand how to respect the woman. It's about
I know how to
speaking well, okay, and then speaking well upon a black woman. Like so,
but not all of them. You can't categorize all black women. They aren't all the same.
And so it's the same as for black men.
All right, so look, so D.
But that's the point. He's not getting my point.
Is both of us can feel this way. I feel like black women need to do something for us, just like black women feel that they should be protected. So I know that girls talk bad on us all day long.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Okay, so we're not being protected as black men either, as far as how they talking and downing us all day. That's all I look at on Facebook. We get down like no good dudes and all that. All the guys I know are good.
So do you agree with that? Do you think it's a tone that black women always constantly talk about our shortcomings or what we don't do? Because I do see that a lot.
I see it a lot as well.
So, all right, so D, let me ask you, like with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory, they said that not protecting her, a lot of that was like making jokes about her and shit like that after they thought that he might have shot her. They said that that's not protecting black women. What you think about that?
I mean, it's true if she wasn't portraying to be who she is. I feel like the way she rapping, she should have had her own gun. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
what the music she putting out there, how she's acting, she can protect herself. She should have beat this nigga up the way she talking. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Don't talk all like you this and that, and then you want to get some protection after that. Like, I don't know.
LeRon?
She pulled out her own strap. You know what I'm saying? That's how she talking. She ride around strapped up, and you know what I'm saying? You do this and that. It's like, yeah, what's up?
So she's putting out that type of persona, and then when it okay.
That's why I can't say like, oh, why you do this to Megan, or why you feel what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about overall in general, not.
I get not so.
I feel that, but I don't think you can generalize like that. I don't think.
No, he did not have to speak. I mean, people don't have to speak about how big she is. Just because she's bigger than him, she can beat him up. Like,
She's about 10 inches
She
bigger,
probably
taller
is.
than him, and about a good 100.
But doesn't mean that she can physically beat him up. Like, that doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that. But the whole point of what they're saying is protect her as who she is as a woman. Respect her name. Respect her.
But what if she's beating his ass like a man?
And she's wrong.
Does that change the gunshot?
Yes. I mean, no, it doesn't, because she should not have been shot at all. Like, nobody should have been shot.
All right, so look, hey, D, I'm going to get you out of here, bro. But just give me your last take on this. Like, what do you think we need to do to try to improve the communication between black men and women to make sure they feel protected and that we feel like we getting what we need from them?
I think we need to just be truthful with each other and communicate. You know what I'm saying? And tell the truth when you communicate.
So it'd be
communicate off of a lot.
It'd be a lot of bullshit, a lot of lies.
Or people don't want to admit they wrongs. Or you feel what I'm saying? And move on from there.
Okay.
Instead of just keep on lying. But I don't know.
Nah, that's real. I do think it's a lot of faking and a lot of people not being honest, so it's hard to have these open, conversations to get to the point.
Everybody has an opinion. Nobody's right. I feel like I'm not right on this. Whoever else, they're not right. That's their opinion.
Right.
That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm right at all, but everybody has their opinion. We just need to learn.
Everybody has have a right to their opinion. Absolutely.
All right, bro, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna hit you up in a little bit.
Enjoy talking to you.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right. So I got him on here because this is one of my close friends. Like, we've been friends a long time, and he'll hit me on the side because he'll see me posting stuff and he'll be like, man, that's some bullshit. He'll be like, I ain't feeling that. So I was like, man, you need to get yours off. Say what say what you feel. So that's why I wanted to call him. But I do think that there is some truth in what he said, as far as it's hard to get an understanding if we're not starting off on a solid ground. And I think a lot of our relationships don't even start the right way.
They're not even really relationships, bro. Like those just even that that's why I don't like having them type of conversations on Facebook, because the women or the men, black men, black women, I'm never going to have to be in the same area with, to the point where I either have to protect you or say something.
So why are we talking about it?
So why am I talking to you? Because what you're saying that may make sense for your circle of people. Like, I can't argue with the people but as far as my opinion, I don't care if you don't like.
But that's all social media is a lot of my opinion.
Right, but that's why
it's mine versus yours versus yours.
But that's why you can't follow into this whole conversation that black men don't support. There are some black women who aren't being supported by the black men that are directly affecting them. That's a fact. That has nothing to do with me.
Personally.
Right. So that whole general aspect, I just.
But do you push back on that and you fight that and say, because that's not me, that I don't know what y'all talking about, or do you try to gain understanding from it?
Because you can actually see, even though it don't pertain to me. In that instance, Megan was not protected, by black men. Whoever was around her, she was not protected. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So I can't argue that. So if she tells me black men don't support or aren't protecting me, or
then you have to.
I have to take her. But somebody that I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if you're being protected or not. But that ain't my problem, because I'm not around you. Nothing I can say for a complete stranger that isn't around me. Like, if I'm walking up the street and I'm at an arena district and some dude is beating on this black girl, I'm not going to change my or turn my head and cross the street and act like I didn't just see that. That's whack.
Final thoughts on the topic. So, after that conversation, we only got a couple seconds, but just final thoughts on what you think we need to do to improve this conversation and make it better between us.
Like I just said, first of all, we have to overall just respect one another first. You can't do nothing, get anywhere if you don't respect someone.
Gotcha.
Learn to respect one another.
Y'all hear that? Respect is where it starts, at least. Because I feel like a lot of this is the foundation is faulty, so we can't really get to where we need to go because we're not starting from the right place. So,
their foundations are faulty.
Oh man. But this was a dope conversation. I'm glad that we were able to have it. Shout out to my brother D for calling in. Shout out to everybody that watched the last episode, that'll watch this episode. We appreciate y'all. Once again, man, it's the Green Room, Marc G, Ron, that's Nichole, and